day everyone, my name is Adeyinka Olamileko and I'm here to talk about the Intentional Parent Academy, TIP. It's such a delight to be talking about this academy that has done a whole lot to impact me more than I can even say today. Should I start talking about time, how it taught me time management skill? I am somebody who is coming from a lot of allotments, which is as a result of all even things that I never knew were traumas in my life. The Intentional Parents Academy brought it out, and this is an academy where they not only tell you what the problem is, you are giving life solution. I came across the Intentional Parents Academy. I was just freelancing, staying at the backyard, until I had to tell myself the truth that, girl, this is where you ought to be. And as at that time, I had exhausted everything I thought I knew on parenting. I thought I knew parenting until I joined this academy. The first thing it did for me was to let me know that I am the problem. I came into the academy because of my children, but here I am today. I get transformed day by day by being in the yard. Listen to the voice notes, taking the Inner Circle private webinar, the Tuesday Lives, and every other thing. In fact, the Inner Circle I've made, the Tuesday Live, makes so much sense to me. And also having to join some other circles, joining meaningful circles also. The Intentional Parent Academy has made it happen for me. I'm here to tell everyone and anyone about this academy. This is where you should be. And everything you thought you knew, the academy is the real expectation. Don't come in with any expectation. The academy is the real expectation. Thank you very much.
And yes, we are live. The academy is one place that you need to be. Welcome here. It is Monday morning, and it's a beautiful Monday morning at that. My name is Wendy Ologi, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. I am called Africa's #1 parent coach. And yes, I love to be here every day listening to people share on their journey. We are still waiting for our guest. Our guest today is streaming live all the way from Cameroon, and she's going to be here soon, Dr. Elizabeth Abang. She's going to be sharing with us what her journey has been, especially being someone who is in Nigeria. One of the things that I want you to do today now is to invite your family and your friends. Our guest is having a little bit of a network challenge, and we would do well to actually be a little bit patient while we're at it. Thank you so much again for joining me today. Thank you for being here. It's been an amazing, amazing time with you. Any time that you think about parenting, what do you think about? Most times I hear people say, oh, when I think about parenting, I'm thinking about how I'm going to ensure that my child gets it right. Is that what parenting really is about? Come to think of it. Parenting is bigger than just wanting a child to turn out right. Actually, a child can turn out right with or without you. That's not the conversation. Parenting is actually a place of becoming, both for you and for your child. And if your focus is on the child turning out well, in quotes, and not on your child becoming and being able to impact, then that is not parenting. Because I believe that what God has called us to do is actually our ability to come into the world, become a people who can impact our world. Have you been raised without being in that place where there is that line and measure of impact? That is what we are talking about. Will you say that the person who raised you have raised you into understanding the purpose in your life? Most of us finish being raised, turning out okay like we claim, and yet we are all running around looking for purpose, always looking for what is not lost, like we say all the time in the Inner Circle. Most times you find that the problem is not particularly about turning out to be obedient. I think that that's the ego of parenting. My child turned out, okay, he has a good job, which is not a bad thing in itself. But how about what God wants for that child and for you? Will you raise your child tomorrow and your child finishes being raised and your child is still looking for themselves? That's failure in parenting in itself. Anytime that a child is raised, the result and the effect should be that the child has found who they are and what it is that they've called to become in this life. So parenting is bigger than just wanting your child to turn out well. Parenting is about becoming that thing that God has actually raised you to be. You are a destiny caller. The question we want to ask this morning is, will you be able to call forth the destiny of the child that is in your hands? Do you know how it's done? Do you know what is required? Do you know what you need to do? Do you know what you need to do? These are the conversations. It's okay for all of us to come here and say, oh, just give me that magic wand so that my child will just turn out okay, be best in class, be this, be that. How about what God wants for that child? Have you been able to find it? Have you been able to see it? Have you been able to be positioned to actually give them that space in destiny of who they should be? If we say now that your destiny is hanging on your parenting, will you say that you were raised the way that God has actually wanted you to become? If your child finishes being raised and they are looking for who they are, they don't know who they are, then you failed. I often say that you're a parent of who raised you, how you were raised, where you were raised, and what the person who raised you know. And that is destiny itself. You can raise a child who turns out okay, who doesn't fulfill destiny. And there are a lot of people like that. The late Miles Peron will say that the biggest place you will see talent is in the grave, because we do not pay attention to ensuring that the things that people bring into the space of life is that they actually use it to become and use it to actually position and change their world. Are you raising a child who is just going to become that next child who is just being raised well? Beyond raising well, what else can you offer? Will you offer a child who will come out eventually and become that person that God has always wanted them to be? The Bible says that a child, he said, before I actually made you, I knew you. I knew you. I ordained you. So there's an expectation of God of who you are. So God says that there's an expectation. So because your expectation shall not be cut off. There's an expectation. There's God. There's something that God is expecting us to become. Have we become that person? If we haven't become that person, then there is something wrong somewhere. There is an expectation of God in your life. There's an expectation of God in the life of your child. There's an expectation of God in that whole process. Are you in that process where you actually have an understanding of God's expectation? Jeremiah 29:11. Before I formed thee, I knew thee. When you are done being raised, will God eventually say that the person I thought of is the person that was there? As a parent, you're a co-creator with God. You're a co-creator with God. And because you're a co-creator, you are also a destiny caller. God has put in the destiny, and God says you are supposed to call forth the destiny of this child. Will you just sit and just tell yourself, my child is doing well in school, and then that's okay? My child was the first in this class. So I've done everything there is. You need to learn how to become so that you can get your child to the point where they too can become. Your becoming is more important than your doing. Your becoming is more important than your activity. You need to ask yourself, am I becoming? Have I empowered myself to the point where I can call forth the destiny that has been placed in my hands? Because I'm a destiny caller, do I have the capacity to do it? Most times, the problem is not that we do not know. The problem is that we don't have the capacity. The first thing that God requires a parent to do is to grow. It's not to parent. When you read the scriptures about Abraham, he said, I've made you the father of many nations. But in that space where Abraham was made the father of many nations, it was said of Abraham that Abraham had to wait years before he had that child that will make him the father of many nations. Abraham needed to grow because God understood that the destiny he needed to call forth was bigger than where he was. And that if he come in at the point where he is to have that child, that Abraham won't be able to call forth that destiny. So God allowed Abraham to go through all the doubt, to go through all the thinking, maybe this is not this. And then he got to the point where he became. Until Abraham became, he couldn't call forth the destiny of that child who is Isaac. Because God had seen that there was so much in the life of Isaac, in the life of the generation called Israel. Anytime that you're raising a child, you need to remember that you are actually raising a nation. They are not the same. You are raising a nation. Every child is a nation. Every child is a nation. Every time you look back, you ask yourself, this nation, when they eventually become a people, who will they become? Because I raised them. Who will they become? Because I raised them. If you have the mentality that you're raising a nation at every point in time in your parenting journey, you will throttle differently. But if you have a mentality that every point in time that, oh, I'm just raising a child, you will misalign. God wants you to align to be able to actually raise that nation who will eventually become the nation you're raising today. When it is ascribed to your name in 5th generations to come, will it be the right or the wrong nation? The Bible recorded the story of the Edomites and the story of the Israelites. Those were nations. It looked like it were two brothers who were just fighting, Esau and Jacob, ordinary people. But we see the effect in many years down the line. The story of Esau and the descendants of Esau became the Edomites. And then the story of Israel and the descendants of Israel became the descendants of Jacob, became the Israelites. Every single person you come in contact with is a nation. Every single person you come in contact with is a nation, including your child. Including your child. What is that thing that you're going to offer? What is that thing that you're going to do? What is that thing that you're going to do differently that when they say that you are aligned with this nation and then it's different? Or would they say that you raised the Edomites or you raised the Israelites? Everything that you do, you are bequeathing whatever it is into generations. Remember, we don't just pass down our good deeds, whether intentionally or unintentionally. You pass down both your good deeds and your bad deeds. You pass down both your good character and your bad character. And sometimes what you pass down is not even what you're conscious of. The most dangerous thing to pass down is the unconscious thing that is in you. What is that unconscious thing that you're doing? If we get into your subconscious, what are we going to find? This is where your becoming actually plays a part. What will you find in your subconscious? Are you going to find something that when you bequeath the next generation, they actually struggle through the process? Or are you going to find something that when you bequeath the next generation, they are glad that you were that person? I want you to reflect this morning as we wait for our guest who is currently battling with our network. I want you to reflect. I want you to think through. I want you to ask yourself, I've listened to this thing. Some of you have been listening to us for years. Some of you have listened for many more. And then for you, you think that all you need to do is to pick up, tips, hits, and there, and hacks, apply it. And once you apply it, you're going to see the result. But the process is bigger than the result itself. What makes you is not the result. The result can kill you. The other day I was teaching, and I was teaching Masterpiece Women, and I said, the same effect success has is the same effect failure has. So now what makes the difference? What makes the difference is the process that you go through, whether it's success or it's failure. Now, you want to begin to look at yourself and ask yourself, even as I am succeeding. So it's not enough for you to come and say, I've listened to Tuesday webinar. What are they talking about? Oh, I'm always listening to them. What are they saying? I'm constantly there. What are they talking about? This thing is not the same. I've applied it. My child came first in class. How about the process? How about what you are imputing in the subconscious in that place where you're going? That's actually the real thing. What differentiates success from failure is actually the process and what you do with them. So the end result is not particularly success or failure. That's not the end result. The end result is what is in between the two. Because everything you do comes from the place of your subconscious. And your subconscious is in the process of the things that is infused. That's why you see people. You say, oh, this person is successful. But you look at the end result of that success. It doesn't show the fruit. Because the process was missed. You pass to the next generation is the process. That's what you pass. What you pass to the next generation is the process, not the progress. It's the process. Process over progress. Anytime, any day. You can make progress. And if you do not sow into your process, even though you have made progress, you can fail. So failure is not as a result of what it is that is in the old product. Failure is as a result of what is in your process. You can make progress and fail. I have seen it before. You can succeed and yet your process is wrong and you still fail. I don't know who it is that I'm talking to this morning, but I'm sure that somebody has got something in this space, in the little time we have had to be able to actually have this conversation while our guest was supposed to be here. I do not know if our guest can hear us this morning and if she's able to actually hear me so that we can go on with my intentional parenting journey this morning. Thank you so much, Dr. Elizabeth Abang. It's so good to see you. Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you, coach.
Awesome. So we have Dr. Abang Elizabeth.
Thank you
All the
very
way
much,
from
coach. I can hear you. It's just the network that is a little slow.
It's fine.
I can hear you, coach.
That's okay. All right. We have Dr. Abang Elizabeth in the building, and she is streaming live all the way from Cameroon. I am hoping that Dr. Abang Elizabeth's network will allow us to actually hear her process so that she will be able to talk to us and be there, because I need you to focus on the process that she shares more than and bigger than the result that you hear. And that's why an academy like this is a no miss for anybody, because it's the process that you're imputing. You can come into the inner circle, or you can even stay on the sidelines and have result, but it's not the same, because your result will not be able to produce you the real becoming, because becoming is in the process, is not in your result. And it's only when you become you attract. When you do, you're just there. So it's what you attract that makes you. It's not what you chase. When you become, you attract. When you chase, you're just everywhere. And that's why when I see people who chase money, I laugh. When you become, money actually meets you where you are. When you become, your parenting becomes what it should be by time. So bigger than the result that you are here to get is the process. One of the things that the Inner Circle program teaches you is the process of your becoming. The process of your becoming is what is actually loud, louder than anything that you can imagine. So your result is good. Your result is amazing. But trust me, your result is limited. And if you don't even take your time, your result can actually kill you. I was reading something recently, and I was talking about results, and I was talking about success, and I was teaching about success and all the things that success can actually do to you, even though it looks like success is the end game. Do you know that when you dwell on your past, whether success or failure, you have the same result? The same result. It has the ability to impede your growth, whether positive past or negative past. Negative past. You know, the Bible said about the man who was by the pool of Bethesda. The important man answered him and said, "Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another stepped down before me." Unlike Peter, Peter told all night. He said, "Nevertheless, at your word." Peter didn't look at what had happened in the past. This man recounted where he has been. Don't over-celebrate success. Don't over-sympathize with failure. Over-dwelling on positive part can actually create a complacency. There's something that the Bible calls the pride of life. Self-glorification for the reason of obvious achievement. When people tell me about pride, I say, if you have not achieved anything, you don't understand what pride really means. The pride of life. Only achievers have the pride of life. Overconfidence. Look at the story of Samson. Samson was overconfident because of what it is he had achieved. He lost track. So you can be listening to me and you say to yourself, is it not this parenting thing? I've been there, done that. I've done everything all there is. Overconfident. But what you forget is in the process that you have put in. It could also be that it's about failure. It also be that it's about failure. You have failed so much that you do not think that anything can happen. The man by the pool of Bethesda said that when he was asked, he said, "Will you be made whole?" Listen, there was no correlation between the question he was asked and the past he recollected. I'm asking you today, will you be made whole? Maybe you failed so much that you're telling me I have done everything. No, you haven't. It's arrogant to think that you have actually done everything. No, you haven't. There are things you haven't done because you don't know it. And then when that man said, "Oh, he left the question that was asked because he dwelt so much on his past that his past actually dealt with him." In destiny, nobody claps for you twice for the same level. The Bible says, "Buy the truth and sell it not." There are currencies that buy the truth. There are currencies that buy the truth. It was one of the others who said, in one of my intentional parenting journey, that success needs maintenance and discipline. That's what it means. Is in that process of what has happened that the real problem. Success requires maintenance. Failure requires you to go back to your process for you to overcome it. Even success requires you to stay in the place of your process. There are currencies that buy the truth in life. One of such currencies is hunger, time, and humility. Hunger, the hunger to actually want to know, the hunger to see things done differently, the hunger to actually see that this thing is a need and I want it. And I want it. You can buy the truth. If you buy it without these currencies, then the truth, you will get to the end and the process is still faulty. You need that hunger for the truth to make effect. The hunger is important. This morning in the inner circle, the email, the wisdom note I had sent to Yadis actually talks about the place of being hungry to find revelation. Nobody finds revelation randomly. Nobody finds revelations randomly. One of the currencies of revelation is that you must read. There is nothing that can happen to you that can make you actually become without you being in that space where you have read. Insight doesn't fall randomly. Revelation is not lottery, it's harvested by readers. So there are things you will never be able to unlock if you never read. It's not a curse, it's the truth. So there are things you will never be able to unlock if you do not join systems, communities that actually hold you up. Because nobody creates in isolation, neither do you win in isolation. When you do it, you die. Samson tried it. He felt, I've been called, I've been anointed. And then he went his way. And his process produced the result that we actually have today. Revelation 1:3 says, blessed is the one who reads aloud the words of this prophecy. And blessed are those who hear it, take it to heart, what is written in it. And I was sharing with them the 5 levels of insight every parent must go through to rise. Every parent must go through to rise. If you don't go through it, then you will not rise. Number 2 currency to buy the truth is time. So when you say to yourself, I don't have time, that's a foolish thing to say. You can't buy the truth without your time. I don't have time. What are they doing here? This inner circle thing, I don't even understand it. What time do they have? Do they come here by 8 a.m.? You can say all you want. But if you do not pay the price now, you will do the time later. Either way, you do the time. The question is not whether the time will be done or not. The question is, at what point do you actually do the time? That's the question. Truth is not free. Truth demands a price. Proverbs 23:23. Buy the truth and sell it not. But the currency is not money. People think that the currency to buy that truth is money. No, deeper than that. I've talked about hunger. Only the hungry pursue the truth. Only the hungry pursue the truth. A casual seeker never finds treasures. It's a hungry person that digs until light breaks forth. Matthew 5:6 says, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. For they shall be filled. And time. The truth is that truth is revealed to those who invest hours to study. Truth is revealed to those who have the ability to meditate. Truth is revealed to those who want to practice the truth. The truth is to be practiced. You cannot rush truth. Truth yields itself only to the patient. Why do I need to be in this space and just learn? What will I learn? Truth is only revealed to people who actually are patient through it. Blessed is the one who reads aloud, who takes to heart what is written. What is written? If you do not read, if you do not find yourself in systems like this, your parenting will perish. It doesn't matter whether your children come first or come second. Not the currency of life in destiny. That's not what the demand of destiny is. The demand of destiny is bigger than your child coming first in their school and having all A's. Is it good to have hope? Believe you me, I love it. I believe it. I love it. You need to actually begin to ask yourself, is that all there is? At some point, even as a human being, you begin to ask yourself, is this all there is to me? Is this all there is to me? When your child asks themselves that question, will they find who they are? Many of us have asked ourselves those questions and we couldn't find who we are. Oh, we couldn't find who we are. And we've been in that space for that long. You can't rush the truth. It yields itself only to the patient. So I've said it, I've been eating that cycle before. No, you need to be patient through the process. The truth is revealed in the process, not in the result. The truth is revealed to people who want to be in the process, not in the result. And number 3 currency will be humility. Humility. Truth comes through vessels you may be tempted to despise. Who is this person that is teaching me? How old do the person is? How old are the children? What is it? I usually say to the people in the yard that the curriculum of your becoming is not orchestrated by you. It's orchestrated by God himself, through a teaching priest. And you're not your own teaching priest. You can't be your own teaching priest. It's impossible. It's impossible. You are all given. Without humility, you will miss the wisdom because you think you know it all. When I hear people say, I have done everything, I say to you, you are a very arrogant person. Nobody can know everything. Nobody can do everything. You can only do what you know per time. There is access to something that you don't know per time. God resists the proud. God resists it, but give grace to the humble. James 4:6. If you must buy the truth, your humility is part of the process of purchasing the truth. If you want the truth, you must pay the price. You must pay the price with hunger. You must pay the price with your time. You must pay the price with humility. These are the currencies that unlock revelation and transformation. So it's not about I have listened to Coach Wendy. I've done everything she said. What she does, what she says works. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It is about the currencies that will unlock revelation and transformation. And transformation. And your transformation is not in your result. Your transformation is not in your result. Your transformation is in the process. You can have result and not be transformed. You can have result and not be transformed. I've seen it happen. And there are a lot of parents on that boat. And there are a lot of examples. And when you see it, you see people shout, oh, no. My children are already doing well. They're and all of that. I smile. The result you have, is that a transformational process in it? The Israelites in the wilderness, they saw miracles. Those were results. Mind-blowing results. They saw manna from heaven. They saw water gush out of the rock. The Red Sea was parted in front of them. I do not know anybody here who have seen a Red Sea parted. Have you seen it before? I don't think any of us saw the kind of miracle that the children of Israel saw. They got results. But they never allowed those encounters to change their hearts. That's why God said, they always go astray in their hearts, and they have not known my way. Hebrews 3:10. They had result, but they lacked transformation. So your child can be doing well. Your children might be the best. Your parenting might have been going well, but they are not transformed. You are not transformed either. They had results. They lacked transformation. King Saul was anointed. King Saul won battles. He had immediate success as Israel's first king. The Bible said that his heart wasn't transformed. He lost his kingdom. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 11. He produced result, but his transformation, without transformation, he failed eventually as a king. Meanwhile, in contrast, when you look at Apostle Paul wasn't just a man with results. Apostle Paul, he was transformed from inside out. He was transformed from a persecutor to an apostle. His transformation is what bettered enduring fruit, leaders, church, lasting impact. His result flowed from transformation. Acts chapter 9, verse 1 to 22. His result flowed from transformation. It was different. Little wonder that Apostle Paul, who didn't stay with Christ, became one of the people who actually made the whole system in the New Testament. 2/3 of it, he wrote it. Somebody who was never with Christ. Come on. How about the people who stayed with Christ? And yet, they saw results. They saw miracles. How transformed were they? When you look at the story of Peter, before the Pentecost, Peter was impulsive. He was fearful. He denied Jesus 3 times. He was with Jesus also. He saw results. But he wasn't transformed. Peter got transformed after the Pentecost. That's when he began to preach, and he won 3,000 souls in a single day. When you are transformed, you produce sustainable results. Your ability to have sustainable result is in your process. It's your process that will get you to the point where your result is tangible enough for it to be sustained. Little wonder, you have been hearing about parenting. You have been doing some of the things, and it's been giving you results here and there. But at some point, you see yourself stuck. When you are truly transformed, you don't get stuck. No, you don't. No, you don't. The woman who was by the well in John 4, she came for physical water. What she came for was result, physical water. But she encountered living water, the Bible said. And the Bible said she was transformed immediately, instantly. That woman became an evangelist. She brought her whole town to Christ. True transformation always multiplies result. Result can give you success for a moment, but only transformation sustains destiny. Only transformation sustains destiny. Only transformation. And that's why when it comes to your parenting, you need to ask yourself, how transformed am I? So that's why you cannot do parenting as it and run. You can't say, oh, I've been in the inner circle like this. I've heard that before. I mean, no. It's a process. It's a process. Results in parenting looks like my child is passing exam. My child is behaving well. We are watching him. My child is winning award. My child is appearing compliant in public. They are good, but they are temporary. They are momentary results that will fade if the child has not been shaped from inside out. Transformation is when you go deeper. You begin to raise a child whose values are internalized, not performed. One of my books that is coming up, for that flash sale on the 6th of October, it's called Raising the Social Genius. Being able to actually raise the child who can thrive beyond certificates is a thing. How much can your child thrive beyond the certificates that they have? Parenting your children to thrive where certificates can't be. That's true transformation. Transformation is raising a child whose integrity, even when no one is watching, is there. A child who understands resilience, responsibility. A child whose character will sustain their competence. Result is teaching your child how to say thank you when they are prompted. Transformation is raising a child who genuinely lives with gratitude. Two different things. Result is getting your teenager to avoid trouble at home. Transformation is raising a young adult who will make wise choices even when they are away in the university. Samuel is a picture of transformation. He grew up wise in stature. His words never fell to the ground, the Bible said. 1 Samuel 3:19. But Eli's sons are a picture of results without transformation. They had priestly titles, but they didn't have character. Don't aim for results. I'm sharing with you some of these steps from my upcoming book. Don't aim for results. Do not aim for results. Aim for transformation. That is parenting. And you cannot sustain transformation without a process and a system. That's what the inner circle produces for you. That is what the inner circle produces for you. The process of that transformation. And it's not a hit and run system. It's not something you wake up and you say to yourself, today I'm awake. It happened to me. Oh, I know what it is that I've done this. No. Your transformation can only happen if you stay. There is a staying power that you require to actually be transformed. And you need to actually have the ability in any system that you see yourself, you have the ability to actually see yourself transformed. Only transformation sustains destiny. Only transformation sustains destiny. Are you going to have yourself transformed? Are you going to be in a system where you actually really see yourself transformed? Or you're looking for hit and run? Oh, I know what it is that I'm doing. I've listened to Coach Wendy for 2 days. I've listened to her for 1 year. I've been in the yard for 1 year. Oh, I'm there and all of that. If you don't stay, you don't get transformed. No, you don't. You don't. You will be limited. Thank you so much for listening to my TED Talk this morning. I do not know who this word is for, but I'm sure that it's for someone to actually be able to take it and run with it. Our guest is in the studio. Dr. Abang Elizabeth, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well, Coach.
Awesome. So we're going to actually have this, my intentional parenting journey, without her face. I guess she's having a lot of network problems, but she's going to be sharing with us on my intentional parenting journey. And as you listen to me this morning, transformation is where we're here from. So pardon us, pardon her. You might not be able to see her face, but I'm sure you'll be able to hear her. And I'm sure that if we have a picture, we can display it over it and see, so that we can just have her picture being seen and you're going to just hear the audio. So Dr. Elizabeth, welcome here. She's streaming all the way from Cameroon. It's such a pleasure to have you. And thank you for giving us an opportunity to hear God this morning. I guess, and I know that this was the move of God for us to listen to what it is that has been said this morning. So welcome here. Share with us if you can still hear us. How did you join the yard?
Good morning, dear Coach. Good morning, everyone. I apologize for the network issues. I have moved from MTN to Orange, from phone to laptop, so this is what we have.
So sorry
Well,
about
I know that we are way behind time and I have a lot to say.
that. Go ahead.
Okay, let me start with how I joined the inner circle. A friend of mine sent the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. She got it from somewhere and sent it to me. Then I looked
Mm.
at it. I said, but is it? I did not really, it did not really get to me. She sent a second one with a story of um, things that are happening to children. And it's the story that got me interested. The first time was just the link. I was not too interested. But when the second one came with a story, the third one came with a story, I now shared it to my family group, WhatsApp groups, and other groups to say that this is something they've sent to me, and I think that is going to be interesting. So I paid for the class. The first day of the class, it was so exciting. We learned so many things that I had never heard before. So I quickly wrote to my friend. I said, "Were you in that class?" She said, "Yes, she was." I said, "Did you see the fire?" You said, "These people are not joking, no." This world is becoming so. The second day it became more interesting, and the third day we decided that we are going to join. Now, when it came to paying, we had a few challenges on the payment issue because the bank, we don't have that bank this way. Then she told me that we can also pay on seller. It was my first time to pay on seller. So we clicked there and we joined the inner circle together, and we have been together up to now, inviting other people. It has been a very interesting journey, and I'm glad that I
Awesome.
joined.
Awesome, awesome. You're listening to Dr. Abang Elizabeth, all the way from Cameroon. Please pardon us. Dr. Abang Elizabeth will not be able to show her face because her network has done her a thing this morning. But hey, we're covenant people. We believe that everything that happens because God wants it so. I do not believe in coincidences. There is no coincidence in the Bible anywhere. And we are glad that we're here this morning. Dr. Abang Elizabeth, talk to us. After you joined the inner circle, what was that thing that actually struck you? What was that thing that held you bound? What was that thing that, you're like, man, this is where I need to be? Over to you.
When I joined the inner circle, I had, at that time, I had many children in my house.
Mm,
Um, we had daily voice notes, we had webinars, and all of those that could help us. Now, what really struck me was being able to have those children, and you are told, or we have learned that we are not supposed to hurt them, I mean to beat them and to yell. Now I did not see the possibility because there were really many. But as I tried to follow with the lessons that we had, I in the beginning it was difficult, but then I saw that it really worked. Because if I
mm,
had a schedule, now we have it on the wall. This person is supposed to wake up and do this. This other, after this is what you're supposed to do. A should do this, B should do this. Now it began to make sense. But mornings also had chaos. Then with
mm,
another voice note, um, coach assured us that if we made sure that we schedule morning devotions or any devotion when it's more convenient, we should have it, but we should make sure that it's scheduled not only at a particular, for example, every morning. No, we can also do it in the evenings. Now
mm,
that took away another pressure to make us
mm,
yell, to make us beat. Another thing that we learned in the inner circle: your house was made for your kids, it's not for
mm,
visitors. So
mm,
that was another thing that made us to yell, because you have tables, you have things that are expensive, you have things that you don't want the children to touch, you don't want children, because I am someone who takes care of my plates. It's the inner circle who helped me with that. I will have plates for 2 3 years I've not used. They are just there and worshiping them. Nobody should touch, nobody should break. So we learned that the space should be for the children. Now I had to take off those glass tables. I had to take off those breakable ornaments. I took them. So that time to be shouting, don't touch this, was already eliminated. That was another thing that helped me not to. So I saw that these things are really working. I continued with the children. Also taught us that we could send the children out to the store, send them to the market, let them know the environment, let them also play in the play parks, let them also play with other children. They are going to have social, because before we had television where they were glued to, and if you want them to wash plates, you have to shout and shout and do all kinds of gymnastics for them to wash plates, because they are glued to the television. Now with the lessons that we have learned, they are allowed to play outside. They have puzzles that occupy them. They have books to read, where in the evening they'll have to tell us what they read, the lessons they read in those books. We also had research. I would say, okay, now the topic on, because they were all girls, the topic on how to take care of your underwears. Now you do that. The topic of sports, you do that. In the evening, we share. If it's something on the scriptures, you take this David story, you take Joseph's story, you read it, you bring it, and you share in the evening. Those are things that will occupy them. And they will not be glued to the TV. So you will not have to be shouting, go and wash plates, go and dry clean, because they are happily doing other things that are helpful to them. So that was something that actually touched me, and I saw that it was working. Because before, I did not know how possible it would be to have 8 children in the house. You are not beating, you are not yelling, and you are expecting them to do what they are supposed to do. So the inner circle helped me in that in that area. That was what really pulled me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. You're listening to Dr. Elizabeth Abang, all the way from Cameroon, and she's streaming live and sharing on her journey. And she was very explicit. Dr. Elizabeth, you were able to tell us this is where you're coming from and this is where you are now. Share with us, what are the transformations that have happened to you in the inner circle, in the yard? And we're talking about transformation in your parenting, in your marriage, in your relationships, whichever way that you want to take it from. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, I've been transformed in several ways. In order not to forget, I had put them down so that I don't. Let's start with my children. I will do my children, my finances, because even my finances has changed because of the webinars that we've had, and my marriage and my social life also. Now, let me start with the children. Now, I no longer have those 8 children, but when I had those 8 children, and I knew that they would be with me for a while. They were with me for almost 2 years, just 1 year and a few months. And I had to send them to their mother in the UK. Now, during that time, those children came in, and they did not know how to cook. They did not know how to clean. They did not know even how to remove their clothes. I mean, there were basic things that I thought that everybody would know, but they did not know most of those things. So it was, instead of me to, in the beginning, I was frustrated, but how can you not know how to open the door with the key? How can you not? So with the patience and the webinars and everything that we have been taught, and the schedules, the structure that we put in the home, maybe because they were my sister's children, they could easily follow. I don't know. But they were able to change. Even their father, who came to visit a few months later, said that he was so surprised that you'll wake up in the morning without anybody saying anything. This one knows that she's supposed to sweep. This one knows that she's supposed to greet. Devotion is taken by this one. And there was one who was very shy. She could not speak in public, even with family members. She was very, very shy. So what we did was that we worked on that part She would be the DJ in every birthday party that we had in the house. She would be the MC. She would present something. So that shyness started coming out and she became bold. There was one who was really withdrawn. So I had to get close to her and find out, why are you this way? It's the inner circle that helped me that way. But the biggest one that I even her mother, their parents were so shocked, is how I sent them by themselves. Well, they did not really go on the plane by themselves that first day. It started bit by bit. Would send them to the store. Those are things that they never knew before. You send them to the store, you are following. The next time they go by themselves, they send them to the market with a list. They move around, they see the quarter. I send them to do things out. They make sure that they are not glued to the screen, because screen is another thing that makes you not to know your environment. We will send them even out of town, because I knew that the day will come when they will go and meet their parents. Then that day finally came. They said, but how would you send these children? I had groomed them. We had conversations. They were now really, really responsible. I took them to the airport. The people at the airport said, are these children going to go by themselves? I said, yeah. Who are you, their mother? I said, no, I'm their auntie. But they know what to do. They can read signs. They are very attentive and every other thing. So we're there on the phone. We gave them a phone that they would use, but that phone did not work. So my mother was very anxious. He said, now if something happens to these children, I said, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. I have confidence in what we have learned for more than 1 year now. I have confidence. So they went until they arrived and their mother went to pick them up. That was one thing that shocked shocked my mom, shocked so many other people, that how did they arrive there? And there is during that time there was another child that was living with me and who is still living with me now. With all this transformation that has been taking place with these other children, hers was different. She refused to change. Now I said, but is this child a witch? Is it normal? I would have to send you back. So I had made plans to send her back, but her parents, the father had died, the mother did not want to take her back, and I did not know where the mother's house is. So I could not. So I just had to sit. I said, but if this child has been put under my care and the parents think that the child will be better under my care, let me better look for a solution. Because the quick fix for me was to send her back. I said, no, this child is surely demonic. What is this? For how many years now? You are not changing, you are not. So I sat down. I even when I reported to my pastor, I said, this child needs deliverance. You need to, she refuses to do chores in the house. She refuses. She's always frowning. She's always frowning. That was my biggest, I did not just want, she was always frowning. So the pastor said he was going to talked with her and found out that she had trauma. She came from a very violent home, very extremely violent. She had trauma. So when he told me, I said, but even if she had trauma, would she be frowning like this? He said, no, it's true. So when I attended the healing from childhood trauma class, I said, okay, now let me help this child. I will get closer to her and find out how this thing happened. Now she explained the things that happened to her in the village. I now became with empathy, because we are also taught to have empathy. If you don't have empathy, you will not be able to put yourself in the other person's shoes. So now with that, I was able to have discussions with her and help her. And right now, she's gone to school already. Right now, she can do plates. It's true that she's still a child, so she will make mistakes, but she's no longer as rebellious as she used to be, because we have had that conversation, because of the healing from childhood trauma class that we've had. So those are the changes that I've had in my children. Even the ones that are shy are now able to perform in front of people. Now let me go to my finances. My finances before now were chaos. Now, what we
Mm.
learned is whether you had chaos in your finances or not, it's never too late to start. Start now.
Mm.
Don't
Mm.
stay and you are regretting, oh, this mistake that I did, this loan that I took, these people that I have been, this thing I've been spending on. No, start
Mm.
now. We
Mm.
are lucky that we have our money, our our money coach who
Mm.
helps us. We had a financial management skills webinar where I learned how to see money,
Mm.
the things that we used to think about money. We used to say things like money does not grow on trees. I don't have money. We used to see rich people like maybe they did something before they had this money, maybe something dark before they had that money. But with the webinar, the financial management skills webinar, we're able to see how to view money, how to teach our children to view money. Now, my children have a piggy bank where they keep their money. They have a plan of how that money will be spent. They have a plan of how they will save a part of that money. All those things were taught to us in the webinars in the inner circle. Now I know what to save, I know what to spend, I know my priorities. I know that I should not outdo the income that is coming in. I know that I should not be pressurized, because as a firstborn, it's very common. You are pressurized to take care of everybody's needs. You have to pay school fees for everyone. You have to listen to pay this, pay that, take care of parents, take care of. Now I am able to structure it, tick it. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I have already done. This is what I'm supposed to keep. This is what is supposed to be multiplied, because money is not something that should just come in and you pay bills, and it should also work for you in the future. So my finances has been the inner circle has helped my finances a lot. Now let me go to my social life. um let's look at before now. I was someone who did not want to take up certain roles. We had a class last year on a back to school class where we were taught that we have to man the gate. We have to take care of the school. I mean, our children's education and things like that. We should not be behind while things are happening. Now, if you want transformation, you should be seen. You should be like a pupil in in that school. You should know the teachers. You should have conversations with the teachers. You should tell the teachers what who your child is, because we also have a webinar of who am I parenting. Tell them who your child, because you know your child better than that teacher. Now that collaboration will help that child in school. You will not have to be fighting unnecessarily with teachers. If you have had a kind of conversation with them, they know your position, they report maybe the child's progress to you, and you're also watching that progress. You will not need to be fighting, or don't do this to my child. Oh, I heard that you did this to my child. And even the children now know how to speak up for themselves. I don't go there to fight for them. I don't go there to make excuses for them. They know that if they need this, they know where to ask for help. They will not just sit and things are happening. You don't understand anything, you know that you have to ask the teacher. If anyone is asking you to do something that is against the principles that you've learned in the house, you know that you're not a tree, you move. You know that this is how you have to report to the teacher. All those things I've taught my children, so that they are not in the disadvantage, so that they are not bullied, and they also do not bully other people. So going back to that back to school class, I attended the first PTA meeting. The I don't know, the inner circle gives you a kind of grace that we have from our coach. What happened was they did not have a president. You know, things just happen like that. The spiritual rema that we get from the inner circle works in our lives. Things don't happen like that. They did not have a president, so they were looking for a president. Every other parent sat behind, said no, they should just appoint anybody. They don't want to, they don't want to. But because of that back to school masterclass, you have to man the gate. I put up my hand, I said I want to be president. Now any other person wants to be president, nobody wanted to be president. Now if anybody against this lady being president, no, they all say, oh no, we are happy, let her be. Even the teachers, let her be. I said okay. So now I took my role. I was very happy that I could make changes concerning my children's school. I took the role. I sat down with the lessons that we have learned. I made sure that I also invited the teachers of my children's school, those who have because we used to have PTA meetings. Now I tell them that there is a parenting school that I attend. If you want that your teaching skills should improve, if you want to be patient with these children, if you want to be able to teach them without yelling and beating, if you want to teach them with the best know-how, it's better to join these classes. For example, sex educate your child like a pro. I advertised and some people joined. Back to school masterclass that just passed now, I advertised and some people joined. Those are things that will change the environment of the child. When you want to change, because your child is not an island, the child is in an environment. If you succeed to also change the people around that child, what you are teaching in the house, what you are teaching at home will bear fruit, because they are also seeing it outside, because they also have people outside who are helping them grow. So in that school, they did not have recess, that is break time where the children go and play. During break time, you just sit in class and you eat. But I brought the idea that children have to play, children have to. If I were not president, I will not be able to make that kind of major change in the school. So if you take up responsibilities in your children's school, you'll be able to make positive changes. Now, even the excursions that they have for the past 2 years, I have been there organizing it. I go with the children, with of course with their other teachers and their headmistress, and I come back and I make sure that it's a success, and I make sure that it is done. Let them go to the museums, let them go out, let them learn other things out of the classroom. They come back and talk about it. They have pictures that they can uh, look back. And so those are things that the inner circle has helped me achieve, because it gave me the boldness, it gave me um, it made me know that I could be president and I could change a few things. Now with this last back to school masterclass, I've learned more things that we are planning to implement in the school, that I've discussed with our head teacher. I've discussed, and we've said that we are going to have some seminars with the teachers, so that these lessons will also be they will also be put into practice. Let me also go to another, apart from social. Yes, even we also learned time management, energy and time mastery. Um, Energy and time management, we learned that last year. We did time management, which helped me to make some schedules. This is what I'm going to do in the morning, this is what I'm going to do. Now the webinar this year added energy to it, and with this webinar I was able to take away some time wasters. There are things that, even though you put the schedule that this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, those things will still bring you back. They will still make you waste time. So what are those toxic relationships, or toxic groups, or toxic whatever that you're listening to and depressing yourself to and involving yourself in? You have to take them away. What are those things that are making you scroll on the phone for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours? You are checking this joke, you are checking this comedian, you are checking this. You have to take them away. What are those things that are making you not to do laundry in time? Now, what I have done is that um I don't have I don't have a nanny. So I try to manage with my kids. It was a choice. That was before I joined the inner circle. But I used to think that, but is this choice really right? But when I joined the inner circle, I discovered that it was right. It was right. I did not have a nanny that will um, undo the teachings that I'm teaching. The children, although they are young, they are really young, but when I'm cooking, they are with me cooking. This one is slicing onion, this one is slicing. I don't say that you are going to waste time. I have already managed my time in such a way that no matter how much time they take to slice those onions, we will still be in time. I have tried to manage my time in such a way that or I made the environment in such a way that no matter the kind of food that they cook, whether there's too much salt or what, we will enjoy it, and they know that it came from them and they will enjoy it. So I make sure that they are involved from the list. We start from the list. What are we going to cook today? We will say dole and plantains. Okay, now for dole and plantains, what do we need? This one will say we need it. Are you sure that we have to put this? Have you ever seen me put this? Say, oh no, okay, no, mom, let's put this, let's put this. Okay, now we have the list. How much are we going to buy onions? They will guess because they don't really know how uh really how much, but we'll work with that. I used to take them to the market. So we work with that list. Then we now cook together, we serve together. They may not be able to they may not be able to cook the way I do, but with the involvement, that connection, it's not only the cooking, it's the connection, it's what they learn, it's the calculation. We need 2 cubes of Maggi here, we need a pinch of salt here. That kind of calculation, those things we have been taught that those things help the child to be strong, help the child to grow. Even in mathematics, it's going to help the child. Social skills is going to help the child. So all those things, we do them together. um Let me also look at the fact that there is another lesson that we learned. Kindness. I hope they are not talking too much. Kindness and niceness.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Kindness and niceness. To be nice is good. To be good is also good, but it's not a skill and it's not going to help. Now you have to look at what it's doing to you. Don't do things that will put you, let's say, put you at a disadvantage, as I used to be before the inner circle. Now I would do some things in the family that would almost finish you. That you sacrifice so much and lose yourself in the name of being nice. Oh, in the name of it's I am the first, in the name of these are sacrifices that we must make. No, I'm not going to fight someone's battle. Now we sit down, we have family meetings, we have conversations about these things, how to manage these things so that one person does not suffer. And also, one thing that I had suffered as a firstborn was to take care of my parents' responsibilities. Now, the inner circle has taught me that my first child is different, the second child is different. Let them be independent. Let them be able to take care of their things. Let one not be a master or another one be a servant to another. It brings that entitlement mentality. You know that I have to always be the one to wash this. This one, because you are first, you are the one to pay the fees. Because you are first, no. I have made them understand that you have your roles to play. You are not a parent. You are a child. And when we do that, we come up with a new generation of thinkers, new generation of people who think that way, so that you will not make it in such a way that one person is the sacrificial lamb. That one person is the one that will pay fees. The one person is the one that will do as I had suffered before. So those are the things that I have learned, and I know very well that um, although we are not there yet, we are still learning and we are still teaching our children. We will get to the place where they themselves will understand it. Let me also talk about this kindness and niceness. We think that our goodness, we think that when a child is good, when a child obeys, a child is that's the best child ever. That's what we have always had. So as we're growing up, we wanted to be very obedient so that we have favor. We want to be very good so that you have favor. The kind of you want to have, you have that sibling rivalry where you want to be the best. It's you who has to have that favor. Every other person should be behind. Now we have learned that that competition is not right, and goodness is not a skill. Let them have a lamp, oil in their lamp always. They should not go and beg for oil as the 10 virgins. They should not wait for last minute to go and buy oil as the 10 virgins in the 10 foolish virgins in the Bible. The child can be good, the child can be a virgin and be foolish. So we need to give them wisdom. So those books that we make them read gives them wisdom. The daily devotional 13 in 1 that we have gives them wisdom, gives them direction, and they will not forget. Your voice has to, the parent's voice has to be the loudest. Right now, I don't have teenagers, but they know that my voice is the loudest. There will come a time when their peers and coaches and every other person will be talking to them. But right now that they are not yet 10 years old, they are not even, the oldest is 7. Right now, they know that this is what mommy usually says. And I make sure that I don't choose for them. When they tell me their stories, they come back from school because of the pillow talks that we have been encouraged to do with our children. I don't only do it on the days that they say we should do pillow talks. I do it on every other day. So they're allowed or they feel free to come and tell me what happened in school and how they felt about it. And I listen because we have also been taught to listen actively, not to judge, not to shout, not to preach. You listen actively. Then they feel free. They tell you the things that happen, the challenges. Now, if this thing happened like that, what do you think you would have done differently? Then they tell you, what do you think would be the outcome if you did this? They tell you, and then you can now come with a counsel at the end. But when the child starts the story and you say, aha, this is what I have been telling you people day and night, don't do this, don't do this, the child now feels withdrawn. The child will no longer feel free to continue. Allow them to tell those stories, allow them to say it in their own way, because the one who is 4 years old, she says it in such a way that you may not understand if you are not a member of the family. She just says anything, just puts any, they even have imaginations. And so when you are close to them, you have that connection, you know which one is an imagination, which one really happened, which one was a wish. Because sometimes we say that the children tell lies, but it's not lies telling. If you see the way they imagine stories, you see the way they imagine things, those are things that they wish would have happened, or they are things that they are imagining. So you now enter inside their fantasies and you help them to also be creative in their imagination. But if you just start shouting, no, that's a lie, it can never happen, that's a lie, now you have already shut down, as they used to do with us. We were not able to express ourselves because everything that you say, they shut you down. They say, no, you're not correct. No, you don't do it. You're not allowed to. How can people be talking and you too, you talk? Who are you? Who are you? So they express themselves even in the daily devotionals. when we read those scriptures, now each person is allowed to tell us what you think. And sometimes what they've learned in that story is not what you are expecting that they will learn. Sometimes I will say in this story, what have we learned today? They will tell you what they have learned that you are not even seeing. You cannot even find it in the story. But I just see it as diverse ways of thinking. I don't say that it must be what I want you to say. So I allow them to think out of the box. Let them tell me any other thing that they have learned, that one will say, I've learned that God is good. Now, what we're reading was not that God is good, but that's what she has learned. So we'll say, okay, yes, this is what you have learned. So God is good in which ways? Now she's going to tell you some of those things, some of those things. Those are things that have helped us in the inner circle. That connection, very important, especially now that they are really young. That connection. And we have learned to be grateful, especially grateful to God to join the inner circle when the children are still this young. Have learned to be grateful. They themselves have learned to be grateful. Now they've learned that you will not say thank you and end there. Thank you for buying me books. Thank you for, and they know that if you buy them a book, it's not a right. You need to thank you for it. And they thank you for this thing. Or if one has wronged the other one, you will not say that I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for, you name what you are sorry for, and you say that you will not do it again. And it does not end there. You take steps not to do it again. We model it so that our children would also follow, because they learn more with what they learn best, with what they see, what they experience, not the things that you tell them. If you tell them, um don't say thank you and leave it there, and they themselves are seeing you saying it, they will not learn. Let them see you say thank you for making up my bed. Thank you for this sweet letter that you have written to me. And we also have know who you are parenting. That one has also helped me to see the little things that we underlook. We just, maybe if you are a parent who just wakes up in the morning, is good morning, take them to school, bring them back in the evening, they do homework, you will not notice those very little abilities, those extras that they have. You will not notice those little weaknesses that you have to work on. You will not know the strengths that they have that you have to work on. You will not know if there is any sibling rivalry. You will just say that this thing is normal. Ah, is it not between big man and small, as you used to say? Oh, since you are small, don't answer, don't say this, don't fight back, don't. And then you don't know how it started. Some of the times it's we who cause these things. You praise one person for always doing the homework. You praise one person for always washing plates. You praise one person, and what about the other person? She's watching. She's watching, and something is building up. Something, it may not look significant right now, but later on, it will build into a kind of resentment that you yourself, because some people are not expressive, they will keep it in. Then the kind of actions later on will tell you that something was growing and now it's difficult to change. So those are things that the inner circle has helped us. It has helped us to make sure that we take care of things before. That means what we are saying is prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
Prevention is better than cure. If you can prevent it, prevent it. Don't wait until you have to start doing therapy for this, therapy for that. As young as those children are, I have taught them about drugs. As young as those children are, I've taught them about the body parts. As
Yes.
young as they are, they know the kind of touches you feel uncomfortable. Someone wants to embrace you and you are not comfortable with it. I will not say no. my uncle, greet him now, greet him, go and embrace him, go and embrace him. No, no, if not
Mm.
feeling comfortable, don't. Because from experience, as I shared in our book review, I shared the my own experience with those kind of touches where they will send you to an uncle's place, send you to a cousin's place. It's you who knows what that cousin is doing to you, but your parents don't know. They are forcing. No, you have to obey, you have to obey. You are there refusing and since we're not expressive, you cannot really say I'm refusing like this because of the way he's touching. No, I refuse like this because of the way the kind of things he's saying. You two, you're just keeping, and you're not telling anybody, and you're not things like that. But now, with the knowledge that we have of sex educate your child like a pro, the children feel free to say those things. And when the child does not feel free anywhere with anybody, don't encourage. Don't encourage at all, because we are the ones who protect. Not that we are taking the place of God. I'm just trying to say that we are the ones, they see us like this is the person I should run to.
Mm.
So you take measures in that level, in that area. You equip them. They have to be equipped, because we will not be there when they are in school. We will not be there when they are playing with their friends. We will not be there when someone is asking them to watch whatever. We will
Mm.
not be there. And we have also learned that um, uh, molestation is not only the physical touch. There are some that are not physical. There are
Mhm.
some that are not physical. You moving around the house naked is another thing, because you feel that is your house, because you feel that you are grown up, because you feel that there are only girls like you or only boys like you, or because you feel that you have reached a level where you are independent, you can do anything. No, you are living, as long as you're a parent, you should cease doing certain things. Don't
Mm.
move around naked. Those are that's another form of molestation that we are doing without knowing. Let's learn. Now my children will go somewhere and say, why is this person plaiting his hair? Is he a woman?
Mm.
Because they know that it's only women that are
Okay,
supposed to plait.
I found
Ah,
this
you
in the
have,
website. Check it out.
oh, have I pressed something?
Oh, sorry about that. No, that was Siri.
Oh, okay, I thought I've done something.
No, no, no. So sorry. Please go ahead.
Okay. So we have taught them so that they don't get confused when they go out. Where someone will say, as you are feeling like this, you supposed to be a man. Oh. It's just
Mm.
that the world has made you to be a woman. But if you do this, you can be a man. Or if no, we teach them from the house
Mm.
what is supposed to be, what is not supposed to be, the dangers, even drugs. They know about it, and they know that if someone is asking you to try it because it's going to make you brave, it's going to make you bold, it's going to make you happy, you tell them the kind of things that the people will convince you with. Don't just say that it's bad. Tell them the kind of language that they will use to confuse you or to
Mm.
convince you.
Mm.
Coach David has taught us all of that, especially in his book 12 Pillars. He has taught us all of that. There is a language that they will use. Tell them.
Mm.
Don't hide it. Tell them so that when they see it, when they hear it, they know that this is this thing that is bad. And I've told them, when someone is convincing you to do something, don't say that, I will not do it because my mother said that I should not do it. No, you should be convinced, because if you say like that, means one day you will do it. One day,
Mm.
it's not coming from your heart. Let it
Mm.
come from within. Let it come. Be convinced. Be
Mm.
convinced. So they even have presentations that we do in the evening on those topics. So they
Mm.
come up with their own ideas. Then now we
Mm.
can now strengthen it and work on it. So
Mm.
we allow them to feel free to bring those ideas, and then now you work on it. So they know about drugs. They
Mm.
know the language the people will use. They know the effect of it. And they know that once you start, it will be difficult to 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 get help. They know that already. They know the consequences. And we have used life examples. You see this uncle, you see this auntie, you see this person. This is how it started. So that they know they can relate, because children also relate with realities, not
mm,
abstract ideas. They relate with
mm,
reality. Now they see that this is how John is. This is how he used to be. It's because he started like this. This is how,
mm,
so they learn faster.
mm,
Um, the inner circle has also helped us in sibling mentorship. The older one helps the younger one in her homework, not to
mm,
be a parent, because before the older ones had to be parents. You are the one to pay this, you're the one to no. Help them in their, you are weak in arithmetic. I help you with it. And it's not that I gave instructions. I've been seeing, but we modeled it. And then I've been seeing how she's doing it. She will call her, your teacher told me that, or your friend told me that we did not read this in class. Can't let me teach you. I'll be in the room. I'm hearing how they are discussing. They go then
mm,
k at cat. They learn like that. It's not only the older one that teaches the younger one. The
mhm,
younger one also teaches the older one in other things that she knows that the other one does not really master. Um, Another thing is I work out of town. I work out of town. So I used to move with them. But when I'm not moving with them, it was difficult to convince to say that I am going somewhere. So I will maybe sneak out, and then they will remain and they are wondering where mommy is, where. So my husband told me that don't do that. They understand. I say no, they will not understand if I tell them. I say no, they understand. Have a conversation with them. Tell them that this is what I'm going to do. I'll go on this day. This is what I'm going to tell them. So I did it the first time. I was afraid. He called me, he sent me a message that what happened? Were they crying? I said no, but I'm sure that they will cry. I said, I'm sure that they will cry after. He said no, they will
mm,
not cry. The first time I did that. This second time I was afraid because I was not really convinced that they did not cry. So I sneaked out again. Then with the lessons that we have learned, I've seen that you must have that conversation. So right now when I'm going, they themselves pray for me. They themselves ask, what will you do? How would you, I will be calling you every day and things like that. So that maturity, that maturity is built in them step by step, process by process. It not just happen. All these
mm,
things are structures that we put in place. You have to put these structures in place because it is not automatic. They
mm,
will not just understand. It's you who has to put those structures in place for them to follow. Last week I was not around. So the head teacher told me that they were first to come to school.
mm,
I said, that means that it's me who used to drag these these children to come at that hour. So I came and asked them what happened. They were so excited to come to go to school. They had a particular time. Their father made them wake up earlier than I used to make them
mm,
wake up. So, and they were used to it. And when I came there, he told me that don't drag them back home. Don't drag
mm,
them back. They are used to that time. Just leave it like that. When I wake them up at that time, just leave me to wake up. I say, okay. For example, today, I told him that, but is it not too early? He said, no, they are already used to that time. That's why they are very, very early in school. So I just allow it. They wake up, no chaos, nobody shouting anywhere, or no chores in the morning. Every chore is done in the night. They have a particular bedtime so that they can wake up early, because children need at least 8 hours of sleep.
mm,
If they are up 10, 11, 12, and you are expecting them to be up to wake up at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, it's impossible. They will be dragging and you will be shouting.
mhm,
They will be refusing to bathe and you will be shouting. So those are things you need to eliminate so that you don't shout, you don't yell, you don't beat, which is possible. Although people are saying that it's not possible. When you try it, you put those structures in place, you see that you will not be that thing that you are yelling for is not it's not useful. You see that you will not even exist. It will not exist at all. Because if they slept early, you wake them up at 5. They're already they're already up. And if you do it consistently, because it has to be consistent, you do it
Yeah.
consistently, you will see that they will now take over. They will do it even without you waking them, or even without you telling them anything. Now they know that if I play with these toys, I need to put them away. They know that if we have to cook, they all of us will have to come up with that list. All of us will have to say what we will buy in the market. All of us will have to slice onions. All of us will have to. It's already in them. Because there was a time I went to the tailor, and my daughter saw a broom and started sweeping. Then the tailor will say, "Oh, try it now, because when you grow older, you start to refuse to work." I told her that no, it's not everybody. She said, "No, that's how children are. When they are young like that, they will easily want to work, easily want to help you. When they will reach a certain age, you will be telling them to do it, they will refuse." I said, "No, if you make sure that is like part of them, they will not. You make sure that they don't see it as punishment, they don't see it as some hard thing. They would grow with it, and you will not struggle." She said, "No possible. Her children like that, they when they were young, they used to work. Now like this, you have to drag them to work." I said, "Because you did not follow with that thing. You just saw that, this child can work, and you left it. Put it a structure. Make sure that they know that this is what they're supposed to do at this time. Let it be a responsibility, and let it not be heavy. That means you're not going to give them work that is bigger than their size, bigger than their age, bigger than. Let it be within range, within reach. Then you encourage them with it. And then they see you doing it with them. And then they see that everybody is doing it. And they see that they have to do it every day, be consistent. They will grow with it. So that was what I taught her. And I told her that if you want those children, although now you are saying that they are refusing, if you want them to change, we have a parenting school that will help you. You think that because she has been complaining, "Oh, when I buy this bag, the child says, no, I want with this younger bag. When I buy this one, I want with." I said, "No, we have a parenting school that will help you. The children will not be choosing the wrong things because of the environment you have put them in. Now I allow them to make choices. I don't make choices for them. But you have to trust, you have to make sure that you have already started putting sorry, principles in them, so that even when they are making choices in a particular line. For example, dresses. When we go to the tailor to choose a style, there are some styles that they know that they should not go towards that direction. It's because they have been in our devotions, in our conversations. They know that you are, as a royal person, this is how you should carry yourself. This is how you should cover yourself. This is how you should dress up. This is how you should speak. Don't want to hear insults. There was a time they reported to me that their teacher was insulting. We will take 3 people and put, you say, black, blacker, blackest, then they will laugh. Or they will take people and say short, shorter, shorter, that kind of insult. And the kind of insults were insults that were true. That means if you are black, she will say you are really black. If that means you annoy her, you are ugly, she will say you are ugly. So kind of insult. So they reported to me. I had to go now as a gatekeeper. I had to go now and address that issue. I said, please, people see you as models. Children see you as models. Now, if in the house they don't hear insults, they come to school and they hear it from you. If they hear from their classmates, it's different. When they hear it from you, who is supposed to teach, how do you see? And you say it in a nice way. Oh, why you start fighting people, fighting left, because once anger meets anger, there will be no good result. Once you are going with the intention to attack, there will be no good result. So you are going with a discussion. You want to discuss, you want to convince. So how do you see this thing? If you do like this, how do you see it as a model? So that part changed, and that's one very important thing when you have influence in your children's environment.
Amazing.
Even when
Amazing, amazing. And it's been a long ride with Dr. Elizabeth Abang. Dr. Elizabeth is from Cameroon and she's sharing on my intentional parenting journey. I wish she started sharing from 8 o'clock. In fact, would have just been on the sidelines with a pen and a paper, just and just going on and on and on. Because she has so much, so much. There's so much. In fact, she said it at the beginning of the session. She said, Coach, I have so much to say. I hope that I will have the time to be able to say it. Dr. Elizabeth has been able to share from her finances. She's giving nitty-gritty of what happens in her parenting. Daily work, conversations in real times, and all of the things. Dr. Happiness, I think it was her comment that I saw in the comment section where she said, if after hearing all of these things, and you heard is what we leave you to Holy Spirit to convince you. Is on your own. As because we don't know what else we are going to do. All right. So you are listening to Dr. Abba, right? And she is sharing on my intentional parents and on that journey. When I hear parents who are toddler parents, I say to them, go and do Thanksgiving. Because honestly, that's one of the best things that can happen to you. And when you are able to internalize this process, it changes everything. Dr. Abba, talk to us. As you've been in the yard, somebody's listening to you now, and they're wondering, do I really need to join this inner circle? Why do I need to join this inner circle? You're not Nigerian. I'm sure that you have quite a number of people who are not Nigerian listening to me. Will I understand it? Is the process the same? I live abroad. I don't know what it is that they are doing. Is this not a Nigerian thing? Is this not something? Is parenting not different where I'm coming from? Please, we want to hear from you. Advise them. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Coach. I would say that parenting is the same everywhere. Now, what is different is your child. Your child is unique. And if you
Mm,
have 5 children, each child is unique. You
mm,
need a parenting class to be able to find out what is unique in A, what is unique in B, how
mm,
can I help A, because my children are different. Now,
mm,
with who am I parenting? I know how to help A, I know how to help B.
mm,
There's one who is withdrawn. How do you help her with that? There's one who is shy. How do you help with that? There's one who is all over the place. There's one who learns in a particular style. Learning styles
mm,
are also different. Their
mm,
personalities are not a mistake. You just need to work with those mistakes. So we with those strengths and weaknesses. So we need it. If you cannot um, if you cannot be there I am not in Nigeria. Let's say I'm not in Nigeria physically, but we have those
mm,
classes online. We have those webinars online. We have our book reviews online, and it's the same. You
mm,
feel Madame Mobelola, you feel Madame, you feel all of them. Madam Diana, you feel as if they are with you in your room during those book reviews. And even the comments, Coach used to send on Saturdays, she used to send um, stories, and then we comment on it. If you are in this place, how would you react? Is it right to be like this? Or some difficulties that a parent has expressed, and then she will give
mm,
a response to it. Now, if you are in that community, you would learn and grow. If you are out of the community, How would you learn and grow? If you are only following Tuesday Live, you are only following classes, let's say master classes, once in a while, there is no place to implement, nobody to follow you up whether you are really implementing. But let's just be true to ourselves. Let's say that you go to class, normal school, normal, if you're in the university, just normal daily school something, and the teacher teaches you, you don't do your homework, the teacher does not follow up whether you are doing homework or not, you don't practice it. Because I am a teacher, I teach linguistics in the University of Douala. I give practical exams. Now, what I teach in class, you have the theory. In the exam, you have to put it into practice, put yourself in a practical lesson, practical environment. How do you help this person? You are going to use every knowledge, every experience, everything that you have learned to help in that situation. So now, if you are only getting theories from live, Tuesday Live, only getting theories,
I think we've lost Dr. Abang Elizabeth. And I think we've actually heard enough. It's been an amazing morning. I don't know what has happened to her network. And I'm so glad that she's been able to share even the one that has shared so far. She said something. She said it's not sustainable for you to listen to one Tuesday live here, the other one there, and think that you're going to actually achieve anything. It's been a long morning, believe me. But whatever it is that you heard this morning, it is that you need a system of accountability. She wasn't even here when I talked about the process of transformation and that you need a system for transformation to happen. If you listen carefully, she has repeated the same thing. Same thing, one word, the spirit is one. And if you came into this morning and if you think that the process is only for a particular group of people, or it doesn't work anywhere, believe you me, it is for everybody. She said it clearly that what is different is your child. And you need a system that will help you to see that differentiating factor in your child and carry it on. We have actually spent some time. And I'm going to actually begin to round up. But before I do, I want you to remember that the Inner Circle program is a transformational space. Dr. Abang Elizabeth said, my finances have taken a turn. Before now, my finances was everywhere. I didn't understand what I was doing. But right now, I've become another person. I usually say that if you get into the inner circle and your life do not change, then you have no path here. Because your life is curated to change. Curated to change in this system. And when you see your life in the next 1 year, you won't believe who you are. You become a new man. We have a discount that is ongoing where you can actually have your singles fee at 120,000 instead of 150 and couples fee at 200,000 instead of 250. Believe you me, this is something that when you invest in it, everything in your life changes. This is where we are going to actually begin to call it a day. Dr. Abang, are you there? And this is where we are going to actually tell you that transformation begins with you saying yes. Recently, we started to talk about the different things that you will need in your process to become. While you're there and while you're at it, remember that we are currently anticipating the 6-in-1 book flash sale that is happening on the 6th of October. You get to buy all my 6 new books for 39,500 instead of 60,000 naira, which is the original price. Each of these books are about 200 and something thousand per page. And believe you me, they are transformational. I don't know which is my best out of these 6 yet. Maybe raising the social gems. There's something about it that just gives me an excitement. Or maybe parenting lessons from the Bible. No, I'm not sharing with you the lessons that you know. I'm not sharing with you the Eli story. No. It's deeper than that. I am finding you stories that will transform your life. Whether you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, doesn't really matter. It is actually about the substance that are shared in this world. So on the 6th of October, wait for it. We are going to actually be doing that flash sale. We already have a group for the flash sale where all of the information will be shared. Whether you live in Nigeria or outside of Nigeria, you will be able to gain access to all of these books. There will be a process to actually have every single one who pre-orders on that day to actually have their books get to them. The distributors in the different parts of the world are going to actually be working together with you to make sure that you actually get your hands on it. And if you're a parent who has been thinking, I don't know where I can begin from, the parenting reset is one tool that I had to create after so many years. And I say to people, if I had written this book 5 years ago, I would have failed at it. But the process of my becoming has produced something that will actually give you transformation, not just result. I don't write for you to be transformed. For you to have result. I write for you to be transformed. And you cannot read my works and not feel the tangible transformation process. And if you are in any of the places where the distributors are not available, we're back on Amazon. Did I tell you that our Amazon page is back online? And it means that you can now reach us again with our books on Amazon, back fully put together. So you can put all of that, reach us out, and be able to buy our books anywhere that you are. And if you're listening to me this morning, remember that the Inner Circle book list is already being prepared. And we're going to make an announcement for it so that you can start also putting your books together. But get in now, and so that you can get uploaded on the app. You think that, oh, I'm going to be in a WhatsApp group, I'm going to be overwhelmed. No, we have an app that's going to actually help you to put your process in place that will help you walk this journey and help you also be together. One of the biggest things that I see in the Inner Circle is the place of accountability. While writing my book, The Social Journeys, Raising the Social Journeys, I was writing about the system of accountability that have made people fail over the years. You can be certified. You can be the best and still fail. The fact that you are the best at something is not what actually gives you the kind of result that transforms you. So the fact that you are the best doesn't really mean anything if you do not understand the way to really navigate. There is a way. And I say it often, you can be anointed and fail. You can be anointed and fail. Anytime that you listen to that thing, anytime that you think about it, remember the story of Samuel. He was anointed, heavily anointed, yet he failed. Even Saul was anointed. I want you to internalize your process of parenting and begin to look at it as a process of God calling you to bigger life. Do you know that what transformed Abraham was the call to parent a nation? His transformation was as a result of parenting. And God called him out into him and said, come out so that you can become the father of many nations. Parenting is an elevation process. When God calls you to become a parent, he calls you into a higher program. He calls you into something bigger. Never forget that. And yes, don't forget that we're going to be in Uyo this weekend. CIP Summit Uyo is coming up this very Sunday, just less than 1 week from now. We're going to be there live with the TIP squad, the Gov, the Queen Mother and Tietima, the King of Boys, Coach Ebuka, and also Coach David for Loremi. And you will be hearing this live. It's happening live at Dominion City Church headquarters, the wealthy place. And you want to be there. Don't miss it for anything. If you know anybody who is in Uyo, tell someone to tell someone to tell someone that we are coming to you with everything. We're also going to be in Ilorin. Ilorin is happening on the 10th of October. You don't want to miss it. Team, do we have a flyer from there? We don't want to miss being in Ilorin. Ilorin is happening, and it's on the 10th of October, 11th of October, a Saturday. You don't want to miss it. Please send us a DM to be able to be in any of the summit. And yes, lastly for the year, we will be in the UK. On the 25th of October, 2025, we will be at Birmingham CIP Summit UK. If you are in the United Kingdom, make your way there, because there is going to be an explosion that will go on that day. Do not forget that being in the inner circle is the call to higher realm. Being in the inner circle is the call to higher realm. And anytime that you actually think about it, remember that you are called for something bigger. Register today, get onboarded, and ensure that you pay the price for your transformation. Don't forget that if you do not read, you don't have access to revelation. Put it in you today that I'm going to stay in accountability system. I'm going to read and I'm going to become. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's been an awesome time. I believe that the Holy Spirit orchestrated today for you to actually be here. We will go. It's taking us so long to actually be able to have our host. We spent almost an hour waiting for our host due to the lack of network issues that she had. But we still heard what it is that we needed to hear today. Take action. And just like the man by the pool of Bethesda, you want to ensure that you actually pick up your bed and you run. Take action today, and everything in your life will take a change. See you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Cathedral means cathedral heads. Can you guys begin to shut down the cathedral? We need to go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yada, see you in the yard.
Common phrases in the inner circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an inner circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me. I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the inner circle, we dey walk and they show.
CIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
why not?